but to encourage people to keep the values of their property. They're investments. Homes are investments in our neighborhood.
The homes in this area are so impressive that every spring the St. Louis Hills Neighborhood Association puts on a house tour. Let's take a moment now to check out some of the beauty the St. Louis Hills neighborhood has to offer. Another vision of Wilmore was putting a church on each of the four corners of Francis Park so the residents could walk to their place of worship. Ascension Lutheran was dedicated in 1941 at Eichelberger and Donovan. St. Gabriel the Archangel Catholic Church originally began services in 1934 at Cyrus Wilmore's construction office until a one-story church was erected in 1935 at Tam in Nottingham. St. Thomas the Apostle Romanian Orthodox Church was dedicated in 1959 at the corner of Nottingham and Donovan. Hope United Church of Christ was dedicated in 1950 on the southeast corner of Francis Park at Tam and Eichelberger. I'm at 6337 Nottingham, a residence purchased in 1968 by Elmer Richards, now a retired executive from Ralston Purina. One day, Richards was out here doing lawn work when a man approached him and said, "Do you know that your house used to sit up on the corner?"
I did a little research and found out that before the church was built, they moved this two-family flat 350 feet west to where it sits today. That was in 1937. They evidently laid down railroad tracks, jacked the thing up, and put I-beams underneath it. Weighed 65 tons, according to an article in the Southside Journal.
St. Mark's Episcopal Church, located at 4714 Clifton Avenue, was completed in 1939, and its unique architecture gives it a place in history.
It was designed by two very distinguished architects, and they wanted to do something quite different in the United States. Matter of fact, in the Western Hemisphere. This is the first church building to be built in the Western Hemisphere in the modernist design, which remains a modern-looking church today.
The 16th Ward also has some fine schools, both public and private.
We actually have the most children who walk or ride their bikes to schools in the city of St. Louis. So we have neighborhood schools. We have St. Gabriel's, we have St. Raphael's, we have Word of Life, we have Bishop DeBerg. But I also have two public schools in my ward. We have Nottingham School, which services the challenged, the physically and mentally challenged 16 to 21-year-olds, so that they have something that they can learn to do so that they can function out in society.
The safety of the 16th Ward residents and visitors to the community is a vital aspect of Alderman Baringer's master plan for the neighborhood. One example is the improved crosswalk leading to St. Raphael's Parish at the intersection of Jameson and Wilmore.
We had an intersection which was six lanes long where we had to move school children across the street safely.
So the city of St. Louis designed this wide crosswalk and island, and at the same time, Baringer was able to add this beautiful St. Louis Hills monument in a collaborative effort.
I went and I talked to the St. Raphael's parents. They helped with some funding on the monument, the St. Louis Hills Neighborhood Association, the City of St. Louis. It's that spirit of cooperation.
Well, this intersection at Hampton and Nottingham had a high rate of car accidents. So Alderman Baringer went to the state to rectify this safety issue.
We took that to the state of Missouri, and based on the amount of accidents, I was bumped to the top for getting that intersection redone with safety lights. So you have a safe way to cross the pedestrians across the street. You'll see it's got 10, 9, 8. You'll see how much time you actually have to get across the street safely. We have motion detectors so that if there's no one sitting on Nottingham, the lights on Hampton won't change. Or if we have cars backed up on Nottingham and there's no cars coming down Hampton, it'll change the lights to go with the flow of the traffic.
Alderman Baringer also feels that the drivers need to be very cautious
You need to slow down when you drive through the neighborhoods, because when you do have a pedestrian-friendly neighborhood, that means you do have more people on the street, and you should come to a full stop. You shouldn't do a St. Louis stop in a pedestrian-friendly neighborhood, because you will hit someone. And that did happen at Nottingham and Hampton. We had a couple pedestrians hit.
Bike trails and paths are very important in South St. Louis, and in the 16th Ward, there are several trails that lead to the River to Pear path. Alderman Baringer has plans to emulate the trail south of River to Pear.
I've been very jealous of that bike trail. If you look at it, the trail net that's so pretty with all that stonework, but it's not in the 16th Ward. I've been meeting with TrailNet, and we're working on bringing that exact same trail, and it'll take you all the way down to the riverfront like it's going right now. So I'm very excited to see the bike trail coming down River to Pear.
New businesses are opening up in the 16th Ward, and there are lots of food, fun, and festivities during a recent ribbon cutting for Carrollton Bank, which has relocated to this site where a new cooperative effort has transpired.
I work very closely to help the businesses as much as I can, but at the same time, I must give kudos to those businesses that help us as well. And a perfect example is this Carrollton Bank is moving. It had been in Hampton Village. Now it's going into an old credit union on Murdoch, and it's at the intersection of Hampton, Sulphur, and Murdoch.
This median has been updated and is routed out the corner next to the new Carrollton Bank location.
I went ahead and I landscaped, I put in a sidewalk, I put in benches, put in trash cans, but what I needed is that I needed someone to maintain it. Carrollton Bank will take care of that little median.
As a member of the 2nd District Police Business Association, Alderman Baringer, along with other members, as well as local dignitaries, made a donation to Carrollton Bank in a display of unity amongst the South St. Louis businesses and the police department.
This organization was put together to assist the policemen, because there's a lot of things that behind the scenes that they need assistance with. You know, traffic vests. We've got a Vespa for them. Just a lot of little things. We do a nice Christmas party for their kids. We do a scholarship program for their kids also. And it's really meaningful to be able to show the support for the officers through the businesses.
I have always had a place in my heart with the police because they are just wonderful. They have to have a tough exterior because they have tough jobs. So I'm always empathetic to the work that they do.
The police officers that come to this district are amazed at the support they get. Everybody actually says hi to the policemen, how are you having a good day, and they are amazed at the amount of respect that they get.
Next time you see a police officer, a firefighter, or a veteran, go up and shake their hand and say thanks for your bravery, your courage, and your honor.
Alderman Baringer believes that it is important to honor those individuals who gave their time and energy supporting the community. And on a recent day, a park bench was dedicated in the honor of Marie Robinson, who served the 16th Ward as president and secretary of the Southampton Neighborhood Association.
Marie served the board for 3 years and left us suddenly on October 24th last year at the young age of 33. We would like to thank 16th Ward Alderman Donna Baringer for purchasing this bench and coordinating its installation.
Robinson left behind a husband, Chris, and a son named Charles, but her legacy will be preserved. Well, here at the corner of Lansdowne and Chippewa in the business district is the site of the former Steak and Shake, which burned down. There was a Taco Bell right next door, and it relocated, leaving 2 vacant sites in the 16th Ward. But Alderman Baringer didn't panic. She went right to work and convinced 2 other businesses to build on this site.
I went to the people who have the Starbucks and the Lion's Choice, and I asked them to meet in the 16th Ward and said, we can do this on this property. It can be done. And if you go there today, we have a Starbucks and we have a Lion's Choice. And that's something to be very proud of, because that's what the neighborhood wanted, and that is what I went and I met and I fought for, and I convinced them. And if you look at the numbers, that's one of the #1 Starbucks in the city of St. Louis.
And the 16th Ward is also home to one of the most famous businesses in St. Louis, Ted Drew's.
I feel very fortunate to have Ted Drew's on Chippewa in my ward on Route 66, because what it does is it brings people from all over, not just St. Louis, but from outside of St. Louis, who come to Ted Drew's. That means new money's coming into the area, More people are coming into the city to see what a great neighborhood this is and what a great place it is to be.
Neighboring businesses have jumped on the bandwagon in a cooperative effort to build strong business relationships.
When Eagle Bank purchased this piece of property, in the spirit of cooperation, which I so appreciate among the businesses, they knew that being across from Ted Drew's meant there'd be a lot of people sitting eating ice cream and possibly on their own lot. So instead of being worried about it, they embraced it. And they put these benches here so you can sit and eat your Ted Drew's ice cream, and they put in extra trash receptacles so you have a place to put your cups when you're done.
Alderman Baringer and Eagle Bank teamed up for a project to construct and maintain this beautiful berm on Plainview just off of Chippewa.
I agreed to build a permanent berm that would look so nice on Plainview versus the sewer drains. Eagle Bank waters it and they maintain it. And that's what I really appreciate in the 16th Ward, is that we have that relationship with the businesses, that they see the importance of reinvesting in our neighborhood as well.
Aya Sofia is another successful business on Chippewa, serving up Turkish cuisine Tuesdays through Sunday.
Alicia Busi, who's the owner, came in and completely redid this whole property, and it just looks adorable.
In the southeast portion of the ward lies the Southampton Business District, one that Alderman Baringer helped to transform.
I was very much wanting to make sure that Mackland became a walking business district. And so I actively pursued getting that up and running. There is a business district. They call themselves Soha now. And it is so cute to go down Mackland in the Southampton neighborhood, and you'll see strollers lined up outside of some of the delis and the restaurants because everyone walks to them. So it's very much, as it's set up to be, it's really a little square. And inside the middle of that little square is a business district that caters to those who live inside the square.
Locals walk to do their shopping at Home Eco General Store and visit neighborhood favorites like Ernesto Pizza and Trattoria. Well, over at the Mac Bar and Grill, you can dine in or get it to go. You can grab a cup of coffee at the Murdoch Perk or get together for a leisure afternoon snack with friends on their beautiful sunlit patio. Alderman Baringer recently celebrated Mackland Days with area residents. They had fun dancing, clowning around, relaxing, and mingling with neighbors in the 16th Ward.
I've been very active in the Hampton Chippewa Business Association, and I've also been very active in the Mackland Business District. And I go to their meetings and I give them every bit of help that I can when it comes to marketing, signage, and if I can do 50-50 on the sidewalks, I do it.
They've done a great job in keeping it alive outside of St. Louis Hills, like to the east, when you go into that area over around Mackland and so on. Donna Baringer, a very hard worker, and very responsive. So is Shrewsbury. I mean, if you wanted to get to these people and talk to them, ask a question, get something done, they were there to look into it, to help you, to get answers right away and do something.
We give Donna a call, and she's always there. She's very responsive to everything that we request for the neighborhood and personally. She's a very responsive alderman.
I would like to be remembered that there was no big problem and there was no big solution. What there was things we needed to address. We addressed them together, and I have always believed that if you need me to get it done, I will get it done.
With a strong-willed alderman, cooperation between the businesses, and classic neighborhoods, the 16th Ward is truly one of the finest places to live in St. Louis.
It is truly a great community. It's almost like you're in a small town. It's almost like a place time has forgotten.
We've said it many times, but it's true. It's kind of like living in Mayberry RFD, because you have people out, you have kids who ride their bikes to the park, you have children who walk to school. If I need to pick up some bread or milk or meat, I don't get in my car and pick it up. I walk up to LeGrand's right there on Donovan. And then of course you have your places of worship. When they're building communities, they're trying to be all-encompassing so that you use less gas, so that you do have more time to spend with your family. They don't need to look much further than to find that it does already exist, and it's in St. Louis Hills.